Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
Hello, my name is Louise. I'm going to tell you the amazing story of my life. It was an ordinary family dinner. The crystal glasses clinked, the chandelier light scattered across my father's proud face, and for a brief second, I thought maybe this dinner was different. Maybe for once he'd notice me, not as the backup daughter, but as his own flesh and blood who'd held the family together quietly for years. But then he raised his glass, cleared his throat and said it, words that sliced through me sharper than any blade. "Let's toast," he announced, beaming. "To my daughter Catherine. She's earned everything on her own, unlike Louise." The table laughed. My mother even nodded approvingly. My sister Catherine smirked, her diamond bracelet flashing, one I had unknowingly paid for. My fork trembled in my hand. I forced a smile. "That's funny, Dad," I said softly, because I always thought helping family didn't require applause. He chuckled, not even glancing at me. "Helping? Honey, your sister's success isn't charity work." The laughter roared again, but this time it sounded like thunder in my chest. My throat burned. I stared at the wine swirling in my glass and thought of the endless bank transfers, the nights I skipped meals to cover their mortgage, the messages Catherine sent. "You're saving us, Lou. I'll pay it back someday." I looked up, steady now. "You're right, Dad. Catherine earned everything herself, which means you won't need my money anymore." The silence was deafening. Catherine's smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" she asked quickly, her voice tight. I pushed my chair back, the legs scraping the floor like a final goodbye. "You'll see," I whispered. For the first time, my father looked uncertain. My mother blinked, confused. Only Catherine's eyes widened. She knew what that meant. The easy flow of money, the quiet support, the unspoken dependence. All of it was ending. As I walked out into the cold night, my heart felt like shattered glass, sharp, glittering, and impossible to piece back together. Yet beneath the pain, something stirred. Resolve. They thought I was weak. They were about to learn just how strong, quiet people can be. And that dinner, the toast that broke me, was just the beginning of everything. The next morning, I woke up to 27 missed calls, most from Catherine. I didn't answer. The echo of that dinner still rang in my ears, my father's laughter haunting the quiet corners of my apartment. But I couldn't let emotion cloud reason anymore. It was time to see how deep Catherine's perfect lie ran. For years, I had trusted her. Every month, I wired $7,200 to her account, believing her story that she used it to pay the family's mortgage and utilities. "You handle the bills better than Mom," I had said once, and she'd smiled sweetly through the phone. "Of course, sis. You focus on work. I'll make sure the house stays standing." Now, sitting at my desk, I opened my banking records. Line after line, transfer after transfer, month after month, $7,200 gone like clockwork. I added the total, $72,000. My stomach turned, yet the house looked worse every time I visited. The cracked porch, the peeling paint, the unanswered bills stuffed behind kitchen magnets. That night, I finally called her. "Catherine," I said evenly, "I just checked my transfers. The money, where did it actually go?" She hesitated. "What do you mean? You told me to handle things." "Right," I replied. "But the mortgage isn't paid. The roof's leaking. Dad said you've been covering everything. So where's the money?" There was a pause. Then with brittle confidence she said, I invested it, Louise, for both of us. It's growing, I promise." I laughed, but it wasn't amusement. It was disbelief. "Invested? Without telling me?" "Catherine, that was our family's survival, not your playground." She hung up. And in that sharp click, I knew I was standing on the edge of something darker, something she'd fought to keep hidden. That night, I made a silent vow. If Catherine built her kingdom on my trust, I'd bring down every stone until the truth stood naked beneath it. I didn't sleep that night. Every word Catherine had said, "It's growing, I promise," played on a loop in my head, sounding less like comfort and more like mockery. By dawn, I was sitting at my kitchen table, laptop open, coffee gone cold, tracing every wire transfer I'd ever made. The pattern was clean, too clean. Each month, the money jumped from my account to hers, then disappeared into another. The recipient? A name I didn't recognize, Franklin Davis. I felt my pulse rise. I dialed Catherine, but she didn't answer. Instead, I heard the beep of a message left unread. My chest tightened with betrayal and disbelief. By noon, I drove to my parents' house. The paint was peeling worse than ever. My father was trimming hedges, humming as if the world were fine. "Dad," I began, my voice shaking, "has Catherine ever mentioned someone named Franklin Davis?" He frowned. "Franklin? Yeah, he's her business partner. Said they're building some AI thing." "Why?" I swallowed hard. "Because he's been getting my money." He froze, hedge clippers still midair. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying," I whispered, "that Catherine didn't invest for us. She's been funding him." That evening, I called Gregory Porter, my old college friend, a detective who owed me a favor. I told him everything. "Find out who Franklin really is," I said. "I need proof." When Gregory's report arrived 2 days later, my hands trembled as I opened it. Fraud allegations, fake startups, vanished investors, and Catherine's name, right there, listed as a financial conduit. Tears blurred the words. My own sister had dragged me into a scam. I stared at her contact photo glowing on my phone. For years, I'd been her safety net. Now I realized I was also her prey, and as I deleted her number, one thought burned in my chest. If she could lie so perfectly, I'd have to fight even more perfectly to expose her. I drove to my parents' house in silence, gripping Gregory's report so tightly it crumpled in my hand. The storm clouds gathering above seemed to mirror the one raging inside me. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about trust, about years of love that had been weaponized. When I stepped inside, my mother looked up from the sink. "Louise, honey, you look pale. What's wrong?" Before I could answer, Catherine's laughter drifted from the living room. She was there, legs crossed on the sofa, sipping tea as if she hadn't destroyed everything. "Oh, look who finally decided to visit," she said sweetly. "Didn't think you'd still be upset about that little misunderstanding." I dropped the folder on the table. "You mean the scam?" I snapped. "The one where you funneled my money to Franklin Davis and pretended it was for the mortgage." Her smile faltered. Dad walked in, confusion creasing his brow. "Louise, what are you talking about?" I opened the folder and spread out Gregory's findings, transaction logs, screenshots, even a photo of Franklin's arrest record. This is the truth. Franklin's a con artist, and Catherine helped him. For a long moment, no one spoke. The clock ticked mercilessly. Then Dad turned to Catherine. "Tell me this isn't true." Catherine's lips trembled, but the mask finally cracked. "He said it was temporary," she whispered. "He said we'd double it. I didn't mean for it to go this far." Tears welled in my eyes, not from anger anymore, but from grief. "You didn't just steal money, Catherine. You stole my faith in you." Dad's voice broke. "Get out," he said softly, pointing to the door. She stood frozen silent, and as she left, the rain outside turned the world to blur, washing away the illusion we'd all lived in. Yet beneath that storm, I felt something shift inside me. Truth, though painful, had finally come home. 3 months later, I sat in the courtroom, my palms damp against the cold wood of the witness stand. Catherine sat across from me, hair neat, eyes hollow. Franklin Davis was beside her, shackled, his smirk gone. The judge's voice echoed like distant thunder as evidence unfolded. Every lie, every dollar, every betrayal. When my turn came, I stood. "I never wanted revenge," I said, my voice trembling. "I just wanted to understand why the people I loved thought my silence meant weakness." Catherine looked at me then, tears streaking her face. "I was desperate," she whispered. "I thought if I could fix things, Dad would finally see me as you." The words hit harder than any insult. For a second, I saw not my enemy, but my broken sister. Still, justice had to come. The verdict was swift. Franklin, guilty of fraud. Catherine, leniency for testifying. As the gavel fell, I felt the final chapter close. Outside the courthouse, my father hugged me, something he hadn't done in years. "I was wrong about you, Louise," he said quietly. "You were the strongest of us all." That night, I packed for Pittsburgh. I was offered a good, high-paying job in Pittsburgh, and I couldn't turn it down. In my suitcase, a single photo of the 4 of us. Behind it, my note: "Sometimes truth isn't what breaks a family, it's what sets it free." The highway stretched endlessly before me, autumn leaves chasing my car like echoes of everything I was leaving behind. For the first time in years, silence felt peaceful, not heavy. At a rest stop, Dad called. "Louise," he said softly, "your mother's cooking again. She keeps asking when you'll visit." I smiled faintly. "When I'm ready, Dad. For now, I need to build something that's mine." He paused, then whispered, "We're proud of you, kid." I hung up, tears blurring the horizon. Pittsburgh shimmered ahead. A new beginning, a city where no one knew my scars. As the skyline came into view, I placed the photo of my family on the dashboard. Beneath it, my handwritten words glowed in the fading light. To heal isn't to forget. It's to finally choose peace over pain. And I kept driving.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.